Hello everyone, welcome to the Microsoft 365 Virtual Marathon. I hope you're having a great conference, guys. So this is Kunal Kankaria. I'll be talking about Power Apps build tools and how you automate your application lifecycle management in Power Apps or with Power App solutions. Right? Um, let's begin. So mark your calendar, guys. The SharePoint conference is now the Microsoft 365 collaboration conference. Um, this is happening on the March 23rd at Las Vegas. So do tune in, guys. Yeah, and thank you to all our sponsors: Proficient, CoreView, AppPoint, Affirma, Quizcom, Valo, Swoop, PointFire, Tygraph, and CyrusSoft. Thank you. Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm Kunal Kankaria. You can call me KK. Yes, I'm a Microsoft 365 solutions consultant at Exaware Technologies, India. I have previously worked with big organizations like Infosys, Cognizant 365, mostly in the Office 365. I started my journey with SPS 2003 all the way till Microsoft 365 now. I've also recently started blogging at about all things Microsoft 365 at kksimplifies.com. So do check out my blog, guys. The languages I speak: Hindi, Marwadi, Tamil, English. Yeah, if you know any, you can easily converse with me. Yeah. Yeah, I also love to play badminton, guys. I can play all day. Yeah. Okay. We are also giving away 3 Oculus Quest. You need to visit the vendor booth sessions and watch the videos. Submit at least 5 correct answers and stand a chance to win one of the 3 Oculus sets. Yeah. So do enter the raffle. Okay, consider donating to the following charity relief funds: International Medical Corps, United Way. 10% of our funds from the sponsors go to these community relief program, guys. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. What is ALM? Application Lifecycle Management. Uh, it is basically the process of managing the life of a product from initial concepts through the end of life. Uh, through the end of life. So let's have a look at the image, right? Okay. So these are the areas that ALM generally covers, right? Plan and track, develop, build and test, deploy, operate, monitor and learn. And these are broadly classified into 3 categories: governance, application management, application development, and maintenance, as you see. And it's a cyclical software development process to achieve repeatable software, right? And that's what ALM is all about. So in this session, what we will focus on is how to automate the build and deployment tasks that are related to Power Apps. I don't cover the testing part because it's a separate topic in itself. And in considering the time, I think we can only do this. So I'll do a hands-on demo of the process of build and deployment, and we will get the tools to, and we'll also get to see the tools available to achieve a healthy ALM. Approach to ALM. Okay, so there are two approaches: environment focused, source control focused. For you to understand the right approach to achieve a healthy ALM, you need to know about some of the key terminologies that are used in Power Apps, right? Um, let's start with environments. What are environments? It provides a space to store and manage your organization's data. You might also use it as containers to separate apps that might have different roles, security requirements, and things like that, right? Also, you should also consider that you should be able to commission and decommission your environments as per your need and avoid dependency on your environments. That's how a solution should be factored. So your approach to ALM is not environment focused, but should be source control focused, right? And what are solutions? Now we've talked about solutions. Solutions are packages that make up different components of your app, be it a Canvas app, an entity that you're using from your CDS database, a flow that you're using, right? And solutions are used to basically transport these components as a package from one environment to another. There are broadly 2 types of solutions: managed and unmanaged solutions. Unmanaged solutions are used in development environments where you can add and remove components, and managed solutions are you deploy managed solutions to any environment that isn't a development environment, right? You can't add and remove components there and things like that. So in a nutshell, right? Um, a source control system. Now, when I say the focus or your approach to ALM should be source control centric, it means that your source control system should be your single source of truth. In other words, the single point of access and modification for your solutions, right? Okay. So how do you achieve ALM for Power Apps, right? We have something called as Power Apps build tools for Azure DevOps. It's an extension that provides us with Azure DevOps tasks that automate common build and deployment activities related to Power Apps and help us achieve continuous integration and continuous deployment. Um, and it contains of several tasks that allow us to push code to the source control, perform solution verification, provision and deprovision environments, and things like that. Okay, currently it's in preview stage, so don't use it in your production just yet. Wait for it to reach the general availability stage. Microsoft has released some updates yesterday. You won't believe, yeah. So yeah, they're continuously updating this tool. It's not even in its major version yet. Um, Okay, and as you see in the build and release pipelines, there are some tasks that relate to unit tests and also related to environment. I won't be covering them because it's a separate topic in itself. As I told earlier, there's a test studio where you perform your test, and then there are other tasks that you can use in the pipeline to automate testing as well. Okay. So environment and ADO setup. There are a couple of things that you need to do before you get started setting up your pipeline, right? You need Azure DevOps project in your organization where you can install this particular extension Power Apps build tool from the Azure Marketplace, initialize a new repository, and build some environment just to test it out, right? You can have a development environment, build environment, and a production environment. For this particular demo, I do have three environments: a dev environment, which is called Kunal Kankaria's environment, a build environment, which is called build, and a production environment, which is the default environment, right? So this is the setup for the current demo. Yeah, let me walk you through that. Okay. So I go into dev.azure.com and I'm taken to my organization the moment I log in, right? And as you see, you can click on the new project and create a new project. Just enter the details that are there. I've already created a project called Live Test in the interest of time. And yeah. And once you're there, once you're in your organization, what you need to do is go to your organization settings on the left. In the left panel, there is a link called as extensions, where you can actually install Power Apps build tools, right? It gets installed for all the projects in your organization. You can just browse to the marketplace and go to Power Apps build tools and download this particular extension. As you see, Microsoft is continuously updating this. It was last updated yesterday. Yeah. Okay. So I'll also switch to the Power Apps view that I have here. So these are the environments that I have. Kunal Kankaria's environment is my development environment. Build will be basically a just-in-time environment, and Kankaria or default will be the production environment. And we'll see how to move the app through these environments and deploy the app, right, using Power Apps build tools. Okay. So we also need a solution in place. I've already done that. I have a solution in place with the Canvas app and an entity. Let me go back to my Power Apps view, and I am in my dev environment right now. If you see, I already have a solution in place, and it's an unmanaged solution, M365 VM. If I just browse to that solution, there is a Canvas app, M365 VM app, and there's another entity called as employee entity, which is basically the data source for this particular app, right? And I've created a solution already. If you're creating a new solution, you just need to go to the solutions tab, click on new solution, and enter the details that are required. Publisher is someone who helps you identify or is an identifier for the solution, right? It tells you who published the solution and whom to contact if there's anything that you need or any help that you need with that particular solution. There are other purposes of the solution as well. That I mean, you can share components if the publisher is the same and things like that. Right? I'll not cover that in detail. Okay. So what is the flow going to look like? We will set up pipelines in our Azure DevOps pipelines, as we call it, and there'll be a particular flow that we will try to achieve. So we have an unmanaged solution in the dev environment. What we'll do is we'll try to validate the solution first. If everything's all right, we will push the solution to the source control, right? And you then move the solution, and then you pack the solution from the source control and move it to a build environment. You generate a managed solution as a pipeline artifact, and you publish it to the production environment. So on a high level, this will be the process that we will follow for the pipeline. Okay, let's get started with the demo. Right? Okay. Let me switch to the project that I've created already. It's called Live Test. Okay. And yeah. And what we'll do now is go to the repos and initialize the repository. I've already done that, as you see. I have created a new JIT repository to store all my files in the source control. Okay, so let's get started by creating a new pipeline. You go to the pipelines tab in ADO, and then you click on create pipeline. I'll use the classic editor to create the pipeline, and I'll use the Azure repository. As you've seen, I've already created a repository called Final, and I'll use that to create the pipeline. You can also, if you know YAML, you can also use it, but we want to have a low code, no code experience as we have in Power Apps. So taking the same experience even to your CI/CD tasks will be useful, right? So we'll get started with an empty job and create a first pipeline. Let me call it push to repo, for instance. Yeah, I'll leave the default values for the agent as is, and yeah. So my first task here would be to add a Power Apps tool installer. So these tasks are given to us by that extension that we've installed. Yeah, there it is. And this is basically a mandatory task, or this is required to be the first task in any build and release pipeline. This task basically installs a set of Power Apps specific tools required by the agent to run the Power Apps build tool tasks that we have below the pipeline, right? Or that will follow in the pipeline. What we are essentially doing here is exporting the solution from dev to a staging directory first. So I'll go back and add another task, export solution. Right. Once I've exported this to a staging directory, I also need to validate it for errors. So I'll also add another task called as Power Apps Checker. This task will help me validate the solution, and once it's validated, I would want to essentially unpack a solution, because when you export a solution, it gives you a zip file, and you're not going to store the zip file as is in your source control system. You want to unpack it so that it generates the various XML files in the background, and you store those XML files in your source control system. Once you've unpacked the solution and you've got your XML files, what you need is a task that will allow you to commit all those files to your repository. So we have all this in place. Let's configure all the tasks one by one. Power Apps tool installer does not need any configuration, so we're good with that. Power Apps export solution. Okay, so the next thing is to configure the authentication type. There's an MFA. You can either use your username and password. If your tenant does not support MFA, you can also use your client ID, client secret. if your tenant supports MFA. Now, this particular authentication type was added only yesterday by Microsoft, right? It wasn't there until like 24 hours ago, right? So this, as I told you, it's in preview. There will be a lot of changes that you will see. So this is a new change that has come in. Earlier, you were not able to run the Power Apps build tools if your tenant had MFA, right? So they've covered that. What you need now is to connect to your dev environment. You need to create a service connection. I've already created connections, a connection to the dev environment, one connection for the build environment, and an other for the production environment. How do you do it? I'll just show you quickly. Click on manage. It takes you to the service connections settings of the project, where you can click on new service connection, and you click on generic. Remember, this is the one where your tenant does not support MFA, and currently the tenant that I am using does not support MFA. So you need the server URL, the URL for your environment, the username and password, of course, and the name for your connection. That's it. You're done. I'll show you an example of the connection that I have. It's the dev connection. So this is the URL to my environment, username, password, dev connection, and you said similar things for the build and the production environment. Okay, let's go back to the export solution. We need to connect to our dev environment first. The solution name, I'll make it kind of dynamic, or pick it from a particular variable which I'll define. So dollar solution name will define a variable in the variables tab. Add a solution name, and the solution that we have in our dev environment is called M365 VM, right? Microsoft 365 Virtual Marathon. Yeah. So we have done that. We need an output file. So what we'll do is we'll store this particular zip file in a staging directory that DevOps gives us, right? Or the source control system gives us. If you see, I'm using some predefined variables that are present as a part of my build. I can access the artifact staging directory, and I'll store the zip file that gets generated as a part of the export solution will be saved in the artifact staging directory. Note that we want to export an unmanaged solution, so don't check this box. Yeah. Okay, coming back to the Power Apps checker service, right? This is a service, it's a API that is provided by Microsoft for us to validate the zip file or the solution file against a set of rules, right? Predefined rules. I already have a connection to that particular API. If I go back to my service connections, if you see there's a Power Apps checker connection. Now, how did I get that? So if you go to add a new service connection, you go to the Power Apps checker and click on next. So you get to select the geography. I have selected India because it's close to the geography that I am at currently. I need a client ID, client secret, and the tenant ID so that I can connect to that service. Now, how do I generate that? For that, I've run a PowerShell script that would basically create a client registration in my Azure portal to connect to that service. And I generate the client ID, client secret from that particular client registration in Azure Active Directory. So let me get that PowerShell script for you. Yeah. So if you see, this is the script that I have run, and let me scroll down. What it does is connects to the Azure AD first, right? Gets your tenant ID and calls a function with that with the display name for your client registration and the tenant ID. This function then, with these parameters, creates a few API permissions that allows this particular client to access that Power Apps Checker API. And after this particular script is run, if you go back to your app registrations in the Azure portal, in under app registrations, you should see Power Apps Checker client. If I go here, I can go to API permissions, and you see there's a Power Apps advisor, and it has given me access for that. I've also generated a new secret, and I've already configured the connection. You also need to pick the client ID and the tenant ID from here, and these are the values that our service connection uses to connect to the Power Apps Checker service. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go back to. Oops, sorry for that. Yeah, here. So now this particular Power Apps Checker service needs the zip file to analyze. And remember, we have the zip file in our artifact staging directory. So we will select local files and use the same artifact staging directory um, and provide this to the API to do a solution check, right? And the rule set we will select as a solution checker. After we have done that, and if everything goes fine, we want to unpack this solution, right? So that generates the relevant XML files. The input file will be the same zip file that we have in the staging directory, and the target folder to unlock will be our sources directory, which is the uh, source system itself. So we'll unpack it here in the actual sources directory. I'm using again the predefined variables that are present to access this to unpack the solution. Okay, we also use a command line script so that we can commit these XML files that get generated to our repository. Let me pull those commands for you. I already have them in place. Okay. Yeah. So what we do is basically check out the master branch and then if you see for authentication, we use the system access token so that we can push this. We can give access and to our agent to use for authentication, right? And since we are using the access token, we also need to be aware of one step that the agent will need access to these access tokens. So allow scripts to access the OAuth token. Um, Click on the agent and in under the additional options, give allow scripts to access the OAuth token. Right. There's also one more step that we need to do. I'll just save this for now. So we'll get back. So click on save, and I'll go to the project settings. What we also need to do is under repositories, we need to provide access um, to the build service so that they can access the repository on behalf of us and push those files to the source control. So I'll just type build service and search for that user. So this is the user live test build service, right? If you see, and if you see this contribute, you have to make sure that it's in the allow state, right? By default, it will be in the not set state. Change it to the allow state, and you should be fine. We'll go back to our pipeline that we've just saved. Okay. So we are done with all the tasks that we need here. What I'll do is I'll quickly run this and queue this, right, and click on run. So if you see the agent job is running and it will execute all the tasks one by one. This will take some time. So what we'll do is we'll jump to creating the next half of the pipeline, right, or a new pipeline basically that will take the code from the source control system and generate a pipeline artifact, which will be a managed solution that you will use to push it to your production system, right? Remember that in production we need to push it as a managed solution, and as I have already told you, your ALM approach should be solution centric. So you should always build your artifact from your source control, right? So that's our new pipeline. I'll call it same. Use the classic editor and Azure repository continue empty job. Yeah, you're all set. I'll name this pipeline as build manage solution. Okay. So the first task, as I've already told you, should always be the Power Apps tool installer. We'll go ahead and add that, and The next thing that we need to do is pack the solution that's present in the source control system. So I'll add the next task, pack the solution. Once we have done that, we also need to import the solution into the integration environment or the build environment that we have. So I'll use something called as Power Apps import solution. So the Power Apps pack solution will generate a zip file from the XML files that were unpacked, right? So it's the opposite of unpack the solution. And after we have successfully imported the solution into the build environment, you can optionally set a solution version, right? So what I'll do is I'll add a task called as set solution version. Basically, I just want to increment the version so before I move it to production, right? And what we need to do now is, once we have imported in the build environment, we need to export it again from the build environment and put it in the staging directory, and then push it as a pipeline artifact, right? So the next task would be publish pipeline artifact. Okay, so let's quickly configure these tasks. So the source folder of solution to pack would be your sources directory, where we have our unpacked code. So I'll again use a predefined variable to access the sources directory. So this is your input. I'll also create the solution name variable like I did last time. It's called M365 VM, right? Okay, so we have said, and what we'll do is we'll output this to, yeah, okay, we'll output this to a staging directory again, which we like we did last time. So we'll again use the predefined variables, and we need an unmanaged solution again so that we can import it into our build environment. So the similar import solution, the service connection this time will be the build environment or the build connection. The solution input file will be the zip file that gets generated, and that will reside in a staging directory. And the next task would be to set the solution version. The solution is currently in the build stage or in the build environment. The solution name will be just the solution name. And for to make the solution number dynamic, what I am currently using is the build number, right, which is always unique when the build runs and gets updated by 1. So 1.0.0 and the build number. What you need to do next is export this as a managed solution, right? This is the package or the zip file that we will use to move to the production environment. Okay, so let's connect to the production environment. Solution name will be, right, and this time what we do is we push it to the staging directory as a managed solution. So let me get hold of those predefined variables again that we have. I'm slightly changing the name. Artifact staging directory solution name underscore managed, right? And remember, I need to select export as managed this time because I need a managed solution and not an unmanaged solution. So we are all set. We want to publish this to the artifact. So the file that we want to publish as an artifact in the pipeline is the managed zip file, and the artifact name, I'll just call it managed solution for now. You can give any name that you want. I'll again save this and we're set with the build manage solution. So what we have essentially done is picked the code from the source control and we have packed it, pushed the package or an unmanaged solution into a build environment and move that particular unmanaged solution from the build environment to the pipeline artifact, right? Or as in we are publishing it as a pipeline artifact as a managed solution, right? That build environment can essentially be a just-in-time environment. What do you mean by just-in-time environment? That is that you create the build environment as a part of these tasks, and you also decommission the environment when your job is done, right? So there are tasks that you can include in the pipeline, Power Apps environment. So create environment, delete environment. So this build environment should essentially be a just-in-time environment, so that you can commission and decommission as you require. In the interest of time, I'm not doing that because environment provisioning and deprovisioning takes a lot of time, and yeah, we only have 1 hour, right? Okay, so you remember we had run our first pipeline. Let's go and check if that did run successfully. So yes, push to repo, we have this, and if you just quickly check out, all the tasks have run. The Power Apps tool installer did install a lot of PowerShell modules. This is the task that takes a lot of time because it installs a lot of modules. Export solution ran, and then Power Apps checker. If you see the Power Apps checker task, there is an error there, but since that it does not match our threshold, so we are good, and it generated a zip file, right? We did unpack the solution, and it should be present in our repository. Let's go to the repository to check. Okay, so it did create a new folder called as M365VM 6 minutes ago, and here is our Canvas app and the XML files, the entity that we used, which is a data source for our app, right? So we have successfully managed to push the app to the source control as a part of our first pipeline. What we'll do now is run the second pipeline as well. Okay. Right, we're good. So yeah, let this run, and it will take some time as did the other pipeline. Let me switch to my presentation. So we've pushed the app to the source control. We've also built a managed solution and pushed it as a pipeline artifact. What we need to do now is release to production, right? We have the zip file as an artifact in our pipeline. We'll use the when we install it to production, we'll again validate the solution once and just run the import solution task to put it into production, right? We'll pick the artifact from our pipeline from the build stage, build the managed solution stage, and push that artifact into production. So what we need to do now is from the left panel under pipelines, go to releases and create a new release pipeline. So we start with an empty job as we did earlier. I'll call it push to prod. Yeah. This is looking good. And we need to add an artifact now that we built, that we had taken in the last stage. So from our source, that is our build managed solution source, we need to pick the artifact that gets generated in the build managed solution pipeline. Okay. The next task would be to add the Power Apps tool installer. Okay, and then the checker service. And once we have validated the solution, we just need to import the solution into our production environment. So let's configure these tasks. Power Apps checker is the same configuration. We need to analyze the zip file that got generated. We will have it in the staging directory as a zip file. and the rule set will be similar. Solution checker. Okay, let's configure the import solution. Now we need to push this to the production environment. So I'll select the production connection, and my input file will be the artifact that got generated in the build manage solution tasks. Right. So I see the task hasn't run yet. Okay. Let's go and check if the task is run successfully. The build managed solution task. Okay, it has failed. Let's see the reason for that. The given unique solution name is not valid. M365EM. Did we have? Okay, I am here. In my dev environment, and in the build environment, okay, so I have this in my build environment already. Okay, so where did the pipeline fail? Okay, I think let's go back and check the pipeline export solution that failed. Environments, pipelines, build manage solution, edit, and export solution. Okay, the correct solution name, I guess. 365EM. Oh, I've chosen the prod connection. I'm sorry. It should be the build connection because we are pushing the zip file or the solution that's in the build stage right now to production. I had mistakenly selected the production connection, so I could not find the solution. Let's save and queue it again. Okay, let's give it another shot. Okay, so the agent job is running again. This will take some time to run. What we'll do is we'll go back. So we have done all our tasks. We have moved the as you see, the package is already come into the build in the build environment. I've selected my build environment. I've got the solution here. The thing that failed was to pick the solution from the build environment and to put it into the production or publish it as a pipeline artifact. So that failed, right? But we successfully have it in the build environment now. And okay, let's move to the next slide. So let the pipeline run. It takes some time. I'll walk you through the slides that I have after this, right? So what we need to consider once we have pushed everything as a part of this particular pipeline setup, the things that are not done, right? You should always remember that environment commissioning and decommissioning should be a part of your pipeline as a best practice. Because your solution should not be dependent on your environment. You should be able to generate your own environment as a part of your pipeline, push the solution into that environment, and then start working, right? You should also consider automating your tests. So there's Test Studio that Microsoft has released. That's again in the preview stage, which you can use to test your solutions, and you can even automate them. There are Azure DevOps tasks for that as well. So consider adding them to your pipeline as well. Okay, now as you've seen these tasks, right? If carefully observed and tried, right, using a guide, even a citizen developer can automate their pipeline tasks. and that is the advantage of having a low code or a no code solution. For a more pro dev approach, some solutions might have PCF components, for example, Power Apps component framework. For these components, you generally have something called as Power Apps CLI, which has all the PowerShell modules that allows us to create a CDS project and then push them to a pipeline, and that's more of a pro dev approach, right? What about the Power Apps checker service? Let's have a look at that. We had added something called as the Power Apps checker service to our pipeline. Let me go back to my pipeline. So our build manage solution has run successfully now. I'll come back to that. Meanwhile, I'll just explain what the checker service is all about. So for that, so if you see, as a part of our first pipeline, we had validated the solution using the Power Apps checker service. Now that API ran and it published an artifact called as code analysis logs, and it sent us a SARIF file. A SARIF file is basically a static analysis results interchange format file, which is an industry standard format, and this provides you what errors you have in your solution and what category they belong to and things like that, where you can view the file easily, right? I'll come back to the SARIF file if we have some time left towards the end, right? Let me go back to my pipeline and see the build manage solution that ran successfully now. We had one error where I mistakenly selected the production environment as my connection. So if you go back to one published artifact, we had published an artifact under manage solution, and we have our manage zip file as the artifact. Now we have created a release task or a release pipeline. Let me just quickly go back. Yeah, we've not saved it yet. So now this import solution will pick up the file from our build manage solution pipeline, which is our manage zip file that got generated, and we will validate it. The solution checker should also validate this zip file, right? So I'll just select this zip file that got generated. So what we're doing here is the artifact that got published as the zip file that got published as an artifact, we need to validate that using the Power Apps checker service, and we use the same, after it's validated, we use the same artifact to push it to the production system. We'll save it and we'll create a new release. Let's hit on create, and the release one has been kicked off. It goes into the queue and it runs. Right. So the tasks are in progress. Okay, while this is running, let me also go back to the SARIF files that we talked about. Right. Let me pull up a sample SARIF file that I have. Give me a minute so that I can show you what it looks like after you download that zip file to your. Yeah, it's here. So I've downloaded the sample zip file, and when you open it, this is what it looks like. It's in the JSON format, and it clearly gives you the errors that you have in your in your solution, which file they are present in. Most of these errors are in my app file, and they are not errors as such, but they are warnings. So the task did not fail. For example, there is the screen one that I have, and it talks about the error is like give the screen a title that describes what it does. So currently in the app, the screen that I have is named screen one. It's always better to give it a meaningful name, right? So that kind of error or a warning, so to say. The second error is something like edit the accessible label property of an item. So there are accessible label properties of controls that help specially enabled people, right, to go through our app as well. Set a tab index, because without that the tabs won't work for a form and things like that. But these are not errors of high severity, so the app did not fail. You can set within the Power Apps checker service, you can go ahead and set the severity and when you would like that particular checker service to fail, right? So you can set all that in your tasks. Let's go and see if our release pipeline has run successfully. This is just the last task that is yet to run. It's running the import task. Yeah. Meanwhile, let's go back to our production environment and see if we have got the solution there. So switch to the production environment. No, it's not there yet. Let's come back to our release pipeline. Okay, the release pipeline. Oh, it's still running. The import tasks take a bit of time. It's still in progress, as you see. Okay, so this has run successfully. Let's refresh our production environment solutions screen. Yeah, here we have it. So this is the solution, and if you go and check, this has been published as a managed solution, right? You cannot directly add components, remove components from a managed solution. And also, if you see, this has been published as managed, so I cannot edit the entity directly within the solution, and I cannot edit the app as well. Right. So yes, that's about it, guys. I'm done with my presentation. Thank you for joining. Please provide your feedback using the speaker feedback link, and please provide the feedback for the overall event as well. It was nice having you guys here. Thanks for joining again. You can reach out to me at LinkedIn, my LinkedIn handle, and my Twitter handle is at Kunal Kankaria. I also run a blog at kksimplifies.com. Do visit the blog.